Let's journey into the inner world that still exists. The spiritual beings who inhabited Lemuria are known as Rainbow Guardians, originally less density, more of an elemental thought form, unlike the three-bodied beings we are today, thought, emotional and physical body. Guardians held a unique ability to travel underwater and above without doing what is known today as breathing. We held the ability to travel via elements, especially air and water, as breathing didn't take place in the nose or mouth, but rather in the organs. Just as your cells hold memory in the body, these cells were and still are like one giant memory sensor that communicates with all connected to the Divine One Creator. Lemuria is thought of as being completely destroyed. This is somewhat of a misnomer. The gods of Lemuria who were created as a result of desires to be protected. Guardians all around the planet like myself are beginning to put the pieces together or remember during this huge planetary awakening. Over time, most gods from Atlantis or Mu have been energized due to disinterest, as these living elementals cannot be destroyed, only energetically neutralized. With the exception of the gods of Hindu. The Hindu culture has remained active in their beliefs, prayers and faith over time, lasting over many life cycles. The Hindu culture originates from Lemuria and is the closest living relative of the Guardians. People of the natives of the Americas and Polynesians were joined together as one huge landmass. For those who follow Lemurian history or Atlantis, it might help to understand we evolved into beautiful-looking human-like beings sometime before Atlantis, as Lemuria survived thousands if not millions of years. Rainbow Guardians have evolved from what is said to be similar to a hermaphrodite, both male and female energies, but eventually, our bodies were morphed physically to one sex during the Atlantis creation. Our spiritual intelligence was far more advanced than what we express today. We mainly communicated with our inner eyes and not mouth or ears. Anyone who has this superpower will understand immediately what I'm saying. These powers can be unlocked, so stay with me as we journey to my home and perhaps yours, to unlock the mysteries of the Rainbow Guardians of Mu. I will share with you another special technique to awaken your true nature. So stay with me and please subscribe and share with us your experiences as a Rainbow Guardian. My ancestors are of Samoan and Rapa Nui descent, and both speak of star system guidance navigating their life from day to day. This was not just physical. The stars are actually inside us. We must simply ask for guidance. You see, true Rainbow Guardians were able to merge into all the elements of the planet: fire, water, air and earth. Now I will be describing to you what I know from my personal astral encounters as a psychic and Polynesian visionary. These visions came after I started asking myself, who am I? Before falling asleep. I will share other techniques as well. This powerful technique that you too can do before falling asleep helped me connect to the divine and begin remembering. It is important that you truly hold genuine intention to know thyself, the spiritual soul that has been traveling this universe for thousands or millions of years. Both James Churchward's books on Mu and some ancient mystics misinterpreted writings or imagery referring to the light spectrum of bright light, perceiving the description as white people, which caused Churchward a lack of credibility. He was actually right, but not in the same sense. The Lemurian avatar was a higher vibrational being made of higher vibrational fractals of light than we are now. Appearing very bright similar to white, this was misunderstood as white in color, hence the Hindu term Palangi meaning the heavens above. Guides also spoke of the common, long hair, you see mostly to this day amongst my Polynesian male and female counterparts. Hair was not just about beauty, but rather allowing us to attune frequency as an antenna. Hair also carries memory. One of the biggest misunderstandings was that Lemurians were Caucasian-looking people. Yes and no. The etymology of the word, Palagi, was also improperly translated with our Samoan Lemurian cousins by early Christian missionaries when the Samoan language was first translated to a dictionary as meaning a white person, rather than spiritual beings from the heavens. If you notice, both Hindus and Samoans share many similarities in our language. Rainbow Guardians today still hold the natural ability to merge rather easily with other beings in nature, especially trees and plants. Perhaps this is why so many Polynesian cultures have experienced some form of war or fight to retain the true mana, so we would forget who we are. As a child, my first experience of becoming aware of these superpowers became apparent after I merged fully in my etheric body with a giant elm tree in my backyard. I became one with it, hearing loudly from my mind the wind and branches moving while feeling the pulse of the tree. I didn't completely understand until decades later when it happened again, entering the path of an initiate, now an adult. I have always been psychic, but I didn't figure out any of these other abilities until nearly 50. My mainland belief system hadn't expanded enough. Nor was my vibration high enough to experience my true nature, perhaps disabling these abilities to see the true soul's journey that's held in the Akashic record of all of our cosmic consciousness. Those that hold these abilities will understand what I'm describing. More dreams of me, merging with people, became apparent. I didn't immediately know these dreams were actually true, astral projections, until I jumped out of a scary dream, and immediately went right back into the same dream. This is a classic sign of shifting into dimensions or projecting rather than having a regular dream. You have a true mission working for the light. I was still in alpha state and had only been awake a few minutes left, feeling terrified as the dream felt so real. All beings do not need to see their body go through a wall or hover over the physical body during astral projection. Some of us just do this without force. Bob Monroe, Hemisync creator, was also one of those beings. The next morning I woke up to a new story of the man I merged with, who was reported as being stabbed while taking the trash out, described exactly how I experienced while on the ground fighting off the attacker. The man who lived 1 mile from my home lived to tell his story. Thankfully, the man I tried to protect survived with only a few lacerations. For years I wondered, how did I pick up this man's signal that he needed help? Was it because he lived close to me? Some of these questions I will not be able to answer until my consciousness evolves further. Merging has received bad press as some people categorize astral travels or merging in the same category as possession or witchery, as described by many new Christian religions. These are all a part of a new agenda or false interpretations, as Gnostic Christians and Rainbow Guardians have always worked in the astral realms to help humanity. I can tell you that when you vow to work for the light, you will merge routinely in your everyday life to attain higher knowledge and help humankind. Unless dealing with dark elementals. This is why so many people in prison claim to black out or not remember horrific crimes. Their bodies are taken over by dark forces. It can happen to anyone, even when someone drinks alcohol or invites them with thoughts or emotions. It's that simple. Your thoughts create your reality within the spiritual and the physical world. Over time, the Lemurians were almost erased, but their story was always protected by the wisdom keepers, my ancestors, and those few who survived recording knowledge, like the Children of Law of One Lost Atlantean Teachings by John Pennell. We are the children of the One Creator. We are connected as one, which is how we are able to merge into other souls. Now is the time to wake up. If you truly want to help humanity, it must start inside you. As above, so below, as within, so without. You can awaken other numerous gifts by taking a vow to the light, creator, divinity, God of creation. Align yourself within your mind, body, and spirit to the path. Become an initiate for humanity in New Earth. The return of the Lemurian beings connected as one. Many other people around the globe are waking up too by doing this one technique before you fall asleep. Reverse engineer your day from beginning to end from God's perspective, not yours. and commit to a serious path of serving others. Subscribe and stay tuned for our next video when we explore other forms of travel during Lemurian and Atlantis times. Thank you for your support.